But because Hyungjin could understand me, you know, what did he do in the early part of 2017 after he got through the 2 weeks of silence? After he chewed on it, he gave me the project, the DP road trip. So that was his statement to all the people that were whining about me, that I'm not as bad as they wish that he would think I am. But the smell of what they had created never went anywhere. As a matter of fact, Jerry Hyena was really moved by that dossier to think that, you know, I was a really bad guy. You know, if he's going to have a smooth relationship with Lourdes, he better adopt the feeling that I'm a really bad guy. So I approached Jerry, and I told you the story. I was like, Jerry, were you in that group of people that prepared that dossier? He was like, yeah, I don't agree with the way you are online, and, you know, but Cookshin says it makes Hyungjin look like he's not so bad, so there's a purpose in it. But I'm the kind of guy, if you tell me kill somebody, I'll kill somebody. That was that episode. So that was early 2017. You got to understand, I wanted to wash my hands of Lourdes. I didn't want to deal with her again. As a matter of fact, the court case would have never come up if Yana didn't ask me to go to the leaders meeting. So that leaders meeting is April 2017, and it's in the court case. Okay, it stated in the court case that she came after me in church emails to defame me using official channels, an official email chain, to badger me after I pointed out that all of her projects were initiated by her. She got so mad because I asked one question. I said, who initiated all these projects you're working on? Because she was reporting on them, right? All but one was initiated by her. And everybody understood what I was talking about, because Lourdes was stonewalling other people's projects and making sure that all her projects looked like they were Hyungjin's ideas, so that she could go back and report to Hyungjin that she had accomplished this, and this. So I had explained that that's why I was asking, and everybody understood, you know, why I was asking. But that wasn't good enough for Lourdes. Lourdes had to punish me for pointing that out. This is the type of wickedness. I mean, this is the type of evil that when you try to correct it or you try to give it food for thought, it punishes you for assisting its own conscience. So, from the time that I was dealing with people online, I felt like, you know, if I got rough with somebody who just had to, I got them to the point where they have to give up their claims that Hakjahan was, you know, just fine. That's when Lourdes would pull the plug and boot me off her site. And I said, it's as if she wants demons to come in the church. It's as if it's okay to set up the church as it was just starting with this relativism. And Hyungjin was talking clearly against relativism. And I wonder if if she was schizophrenic, if she listened to what he said. So she was okay with relativism. Let them believe whatever they want to believe. I said, you know, she looked like a deer in the headlight one time when I said to her, she kept talking about Dan Pfefferman's going to come. Dan Pfefferman's going to come. And I'm like, Dan Pfefferman is never coming to Sanctuary Church. And she was like, yeah. And she thought that Dan Pfefferman's not coming to Sanctuary Church because I'm mean. I mean, that's what she told herself. And I said to her, we have to suspend talking about the truth. And all the people that actually are truth-oriented people are watching you treat me in a hostile way. Those people won't want to come because they can see that we're actually not completely centered on truth. And meanwhile, Dan Pfefferman's not going to come. So you will have sacrificed the air that we're focused on truth just to, you know, play nice. And she looked like a freaking deer in the headlights. Like, it never occurred to her that she was willing to sacrifice the truth and sacrifice all the hardcore truth-loving people who were in the wings watching for one Dan Pfefferman who was never going to come anyway. Anyway, so what am I saying? I'm saying I was the only one out there. That's why I was a target. I was the only one out there willing to call a liar, a half-truth, a half-truth. Okay? And I did it still for the right reasons. But you want to shift the focus away from the fact that the truth needs to be heard to animating or giving life to frivolous claims that I hurt people's feelings. Okay? And like I said, if you know why you passed gay marriage? Because gay people said that the whole country is hurting their feelings. You know why you're letting Somali and these migrants rape women in Europe? Because some advocate for the Somalis is saying you're hurting their dignity by calling a rapist a rapist. See, you haven't figured that out. You know, and I thought when I come out here and I'm going to talk to you guys about this, I'd probably be yelling. But I really don't feel like yelling. I really freaking pity you. I really pity you. I really pity you. Because Cookshin later says that the kingdom needs demons. And so you're surrounded by demons. I tried to deal with the demons, not kick them out, just deal with them by insisting that they start chewing on the truths that they've been running from. Because the truths that they were running from, listen, I know for a fact that Clark Angel, Sticky Fingers, I know for a fact that Dirty Fingers had problems with sex with underage people. Okay? So I can't keep him away from the blessed children. He's 30-something, and he's fascinated with hanging out with people that are a little over half his age. And I already know, because he confessed it to me, that he has some issue there. So I'm the one to know that he needs to find another pastime. You guys let him whine about how mean I am. Of course I'm mean. I want to protect your children, stupid. The guy can't control himself. 2 days after the public spectacle of saying that they were engaged to be blessed, he is engaged in heavy petting. You have like that much, like, trust but verify is a better way to live than being guilted into demonstrating trust because some young person goes, you don't trust me. Hell no, I don't trust you. Why don't you demonstrate like some growth, that you had overcome something first? So he bails on the condition designed to like help him enter into a new state of a new spiritual level. So he doesn't like the feeling that the growth itself makes him feel bad, so he wanted to avoid it. He wanted to avoid facing his demons. So instead of facing them, he just let them permeate his person and express themselves. So I got so much flack for trying to protect your kids and deal with these people. Both Scat and Dirty Fingers, both in their own way, plotted against your kids. Just by being themselves around your kids. It's an eventual plot. So I'm sure Clark, he didn't care that blessed children are not supposed to get matched with first gen. He was fascinated with hanging out with this one sister, and I walked over to him. I said, you know, you need to get away from this girl. So that was rough. I mean, free country and everything, but man, if it was my daughter and he's just sitting there and he's 30-something and she's like 21 or something like that, I'm gonna be like, get the fuck away from my daughter, you know. So yeah, the idea, you know, I wondered why I couldn't stop. It was as if Lourdes was the toe in the door. And as I was trying to close the door so that demons couldn't get into this baby developing church, right? This baby developing community, she would put her toe in the door. She would always, spiritually, Lourdes for many years was, spiritually, I see this picture of a toe in the door. And she's like, come on in. No, they're fine. No, they're fine. No, oh, Jamal, you're the one with the problem, right? And this feeds into a restoration age Christianity that, you know, of some kind of a horizontal love that gives trust but doesn't have any way to verify, you know, like you're supposed to love. Anyway, I did love by keeping him from, you know, lengthening his rap sheet, because heaven is collecting a rap sheet against you and you're eventually going to have to deal with it. Lesser indemnity or greater indemnity route. Shit. So anyway, I don't want to explain that. But when I was thinking about who's to blame for this, and then Cookchin says that demons are going to be in the kingdom and assassins and prostitutes are needed in the kingdom. I'm like, who is it that kept Lourdes from being reprimanded and dealt with? It was Cookchin. So, you know, I was thinking, I don't know who you think you are, Cookchin, but you are not greater than the truth. We need the truth as a blueprint. You start building a house on some bullshit fake blueprints that haven't been checked by the goddamn engineer, the God-blessed engineer, and you're leading people to their death. You're leading them to disaster. The divine principle is very clear. There's not even sin in the kingdom. There's no sin in the kingdom. Satan is finally vanquished because nobody has give and take with him. Okay, it's not that we're always dealing with Satan in the kingdom. No, it says that Satan, in the divine principle, it says that Satan will be in a bottomless pit. Nobody's dealing with Satan because everybody has the wisdom not to deal with him. That's why Father said people who don't know that restoration is over are allowing Satan to continue to act because you still think you have to deal with his claims that you hurt him and that you haven't satisfied this or that outdated mandate. So I'm sorry, like I'm sure that as much as God loves every person that looks up to you while you guide them with this half-baked shit. Can you imagine? Oh, God. Really? The divine principle was nothing more than bait? Really? How could you even say that? I know you don't. You have to be fucking out of your mind. You'd have to be crazy. Are you crazy to tell people that? Do you go and watch the videotape and then you shrink? I had a dream that I was shouting at you and you shrunk in shame. You actually, that's so embarrassing. You told people that one of the 8 textbooks was nothing more than Father baiting them. Wow, what a tremendous disrespect to Father's work to fit your narrative. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. You need to take a deep breath, brother. You need to, like, really take a deep breath. And maybe you really need to trust, I don't know who you're going to find, because you're surrounded by sycophants and people who have warped their mind trying to make you happy. Maybe they can't track their way back to their sound mind to where they could be, you know, a good source for you. Or maybe you should just read the 8 textbooks without trying to rape it for a rationale that supports the politics that you determined in advance. In other words, every entity has a whole purpose center and a individual purpose center. And so if you correct that relationship and put the whole purpose first, you let the truth be what it is, and you stop trying to use the truth to support your personal center or your individual center, which happens to do with your politics and gun lore, which feeds your family and this kind of thing. And if somebody comes in to correct what you're doing, no, instead of you being the demon that shouts them down, you hire other people to be demons for you, to get rid of the person who can cast truth on the fact that you're using Father's work to bolster gun lore because you sell guns. I mean, you need to really take a chill. You really do. You know, I don't know if I failed because I'm not really yelling at you the way this image I got in this dream that God gave me. You know, maybe somebody really should yell at you, but I just don't. I mean, part of me actually still, well, likes you. Maybe it's some weakness of mine. I swear to God, I don't want to regret it. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. The 8 textbooks is not bait. And then your personal revelation is the, you know, what'd you say? The real thing that people should accept as the final truth is the testimony of the person, Hyungjin Moon, because he was there for 2 years. And his testimony of what he witnessed is more believable than the 8 textbooks. I mean, oh God. Stop. Stop. History's not going to look at you. History is not going to... Listen, if you have any rational bone in you, you feel shame. And I got to believe from the dream, you have some ability to feel some shame. History is going to look at you, because if you didn't, you'd be the psychopath. Like, nobody can appeal to you because you're running down the track, getting everything that you want. So I do think you should reflect. You should reflect on the fact that, you know, even though these people look at you like you're supposed to be the source of answers, that's their problem. They have the textbooks too. Tell them sometimes, I don't know. Tell them I'm thinking about it. And then you know what makes it worse? I'm putting out this video. And they're going to, if you do change your behavior, they're going to be like, oh, Jamal got to him. So this is, you're burned either way. I mean, but just love God, man. Forget these people. Forget the fact that, I mean, they have their own responsibility to tell the truth. All you can do, or I can do, is share the realizations that I've had out of respect for the book. So, you know, I'm bothered by the idea that anything I believe is not supported by something that's in Father's teachings. I'm bothered by that. Maybe you should become bothered by that too, instead of rationalizing and saying that Father secretly wanted the things that you want all along. Because people are following you to the same place you're going to wind up. You're going to wind up having Father pissed off at you. And he's probably pissed off at you, which is why I had a dream like that. Because you said that his word was nothing more than bait. Like he's playing with people. Like, you shouldn't do that. Like, Father's life is not a freaking joke. You know Father's a straight person. Slow down. Anyway, Father gave those books to Hyungjin, telling him to search them for the deeper meaning. Okay? And and you soup chunged him up while you stay hidden. And you gave him the god-awful secret origin document. And he obliged you, taking responsibility for it. And in your deposition, when you were asked who wrote it, you can't even take responsibility for it. So you really need to think about what you're doing to him. You want what you want too strongly. You want it too strongly. And there's a term for that. I'm sure you know what it is. It's called excessive desire. That's desire that goes beyond what's good. Like, desire is there for a good reason, but when you have excessive desire, it shoots past the good and becomes problematic. And you want what you want too strongly. And the greatest thing that God gave to each one of us is our spouse. Except those who didn't wait for it to be given. Those people somehow in their conscience are cursed. Because instead of having the honor that you could find out that how much somebody loves you at the moment where they give you something, you go ahead and you take it. That's why Father called everybody thieves. But the greatest thing is to be given someone's son or daughter. The only thing that really messed that up in the garden was the fact that they didn't wait for the owner to give, and they took it and they became thieves. So it's not the Constitution that you wrote that's the greatest gift. What an obnoxious! It's obnoxious. It's an obnoxious thing to say. Anyway, I hope this meets you with, in a good mood. I hope you're able to think about these things. And I really hope everything works out for the better. I thank God, I thank Jesus, I thank your parents. I'm not going to bother you. I'm just doing the 21-day condition. I'm going to get on with my life. I'm not going to bother you. And tomorrow I'm going to share what I truly wish for all of you. Because this series is called Forgive and Mitigate for a reason. And yeah, I've been long with this. If you watch to the end anyway, it's like, hey, thanks. All right, talk to you later.